Welcome back. Now, tonight we unpack a growing concern in the creative industry, the use of AI platforms that generate or distribute music using artists' work without proper approval or consent. Now, as technology continues to evolve, questions around ownership, creativity, and protection of original work are becoming more urgent than ever. Now, to help us to make a sense of it, we're now joined by Goroh, creative director and all-round artist, and Moises Domingo, who is a composer, producer, and pianist. Gentlemen, a very good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
All right. Do we love AI? Are we team artificial intelligence? Yes, no?
I'm team human.
Team human.
Yeah, team human as well here.
Team human. Why? Why is that the case?
Why am I team human?
Yeah.
I believe everyone should be. We're sharing a planet together.
Yeah.
The way the economy works, the way society works is there's a social contract. So I do unto you as I expect you to do unto me.
Yeah.
So
that humanity
yeah, humanity. I'm pro-human.
Yeah.
I would be anything else.
Would you agree, Moises?
Oh no, I agree 100%.
Okay. All right.
Because that's what ties us together.
Yeah.
So.
I want to hear from both of you, seeing that you're from the creative space. How do you personally define the biggest threat AI platforms currently that pose to musicians and also to artists?
I can go first.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go first.
The biggest threat. Funny enough, it's a threat to artists, but just humans. I think humans in general, especially when humans don't understand what the risk that it poses. But let's talk artists. If we talk about painters, for instance, or people who paint digitally, you have what's known as generative AI, where it's gobbled up all this intellectual property that people have painted over the years. It's absorbed all of it, and it just spits out what people call slop now, of just, hey, I want a pink balloon with a unicorn flying over the sand dunes. It's generated. So that craft is now devalued from artists who actually create. Then with music, like with the SUNO thing that we'll probably get into now, they basically gobbled up all this music, millions. It's actually 28 million songs stolen from artists. And now they just generate just music. Somebody will go onto the platform and type, give me a song in Nama with a gom beat or something, and saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it generates that. So now you've devalued the creative process. And now real artists who make music with your hands and with your minds need to now compete with this machine. So yeah, so that's just music, and you have art, and you also have video, how it creeps into that as well.
And your 2 cents, Moises?
Well, he actually basically said what I was going to say in that regard, because it's something that has slowly infiltrated the different industries. Yeah. And then unfortunately, or fortunately enough, now it's with the music, and then we're looking at like what Ina mentioned, like these effects that are out there. It's not like just thoughts and views or opinions, but these are like captured data that's out there that states that you're having over like 28 million. And then I think even when I was looking at it earlier today, I think the number even went up.
Yeah, no, it's higher than
I think it goes up every hour.
It goes up because you see right now where you're having like the whole court cases like being formed up right now with different industries. First, we thought it was just like well, let me rather say I thought it's just like the music platform because I'm looking more at the music, but then you are realizing across different industries, court cases are being filed about it. So you get to realize it's actually a very serious thing. And
but Moises, from a composer's point of view, have you experienced or perhaps noticed cases where AI tools mimic or replicate original compositions?
Okay, yeah, I have. Like personally, I have. And I think I'll use one of the examples because there is an artist, or let me say a prompter. Because there's a difference between artists. Having been in the music industry for like over 20 years, like I've worked with almost every artist. I cannot think of an artist I've not recorded or at least done some composition for. And then there are certain things you pick up, which is like the human, the mannerisms, like of how they talk, how they sing, certain things they say, their favorite colors. So like coming back now to the whole AI thing, there's someone who prompted music that they're currently selling to the public, and I could hear, like I'd sit down and I would listen and I would hear, I'd be like, hey, this sounds like this one artist that I have recorded like over and over again, because I know like artists sound differently. So I've realized that, okay, wait, this thing generated like a mannerism of the person, which is like the intellectual property, because like it said a vowel a certain way. You see, like if we look at, like let's say for example, we're looking at Dog and Gaza, we know them worlds apart because of how they talk. Dog is ha ha. Who says ha ha? It's dog, right? Yeah. And then Gaza, like you know, when he's talking, there's just a certain way he talks and says words. So, like for example, if someone loads that into AI, and you hear ha ha, will you say it's Michael Jackson? No. You say it's the dog. So, like I have experienced like different times where I've listened. Like someone says, hey, listen to this, listen to this artist, and I'm like, that's AI. Like, hey, the dog released a new song. I'm like, that's not the dog.
It's AI.
It's AI.
Sounds exactly like the dog.
Sounds like the dog. So because people are experimenting, you know, it's a tool that's now at the hands of consumers, and they're not understanding it, but they're just making use of it for fun. But the fun part is one thing, but then what it's doing in the back end, like the industry that it's like destroying is a whole different conversation.
And we wouldn't understand if we are not part of the creative industry. But Ina, at what point does AI-generated music basically cross the line when it comes to copyright infringement, in your view?
That's an interesting question, because I think probably the reason why you brought us on is because of what I posted recently. And that is I'll say a journalist. Okay, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
There's a company known as SUNO, and there's another one known as UDO, and they are music generation platforms. You basically go on there and you type, give me this, make it sound like this, and they'll produce a song. But the thing is, people have wondered for the longest, how did they train this AI to do this? So I think it's Warner Music and Universal Music took them to court and basically said, judge, we think these people trained on our artists' music. So the judge, I think they sued and won, I think $550 million US. And then the case is still ongoing. They're still being sued by other people. So the court ordered that they release the data sets. The data sets is the music that you trained on. Funny enough, they trained on videos as well, music videos.
That's crazy. I didn't know that part.
Yeah. So they released it, and then some journalists from a publication known as The Atlantic basically took that data set, put it online, allowing artists to go on and search. So I found out about this, and I saw a lot of artists coming out in the States saying, hey, my music was trained on this. In Australia, my music was trained on this. And I'm like, there's no way that they stole Namibian music. All right. The biggest one, Gaza. The Gaza shows up. Lioness shows up. PDK, 127 songs, I think.
Okay.
Crazy.
Taken from PDK. KP Illest, taken. Script was on there. Like, they had stolen from all these people. So what they've essentially done is basically they've crossed our borders, come to our musicians, stolen their style, stolen their identity, stolen the work that they've put into making those tracks, trained an AI on it. So now somebody in Timbuktu or Taiwan can type, give me a song that sounds like it comes from Southern Africa, a male singer, and now you'll have something that sounds like Gaza playing for someone there, while the Namibians have not been compensated. And at the same time, the thing people don't think about, they think, oh no, they're just doing their thing. But the thing is, that's a gap in this music industry that this software or AI has now stolen. Where somebody would have wanted to listen to Gaza's music, there's an AI now that they can prompt and say, give me whatever I want and make it sound like that. Now they've stolen from all of us locally. So that's an example. And there's currently a lawsuit going on for independent artists that Namibian musicians are encouraged to join as well. That's happening in the States. I think it's Indie I'll have to check again. But her name on Instagram is Top Music Attorney. And then she has a link that links you to where you can also add your name and say, my songs were stolen, and then you'll be part of this class action lawsuit against SUNO.
But I want to hear from the both of you, Moises and Ina. Do you think that AI can actually ever truly replace that human emotion and intention when it comes to music composition?
Should I go?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, I don't think it could ever replace. Because it's just, we are the creators. We are created, if you believe in God. Yeah, we are created, so we become also creators. So that's why it's very, like what we have is, it's not something that was copied, but it's something we developed, okay? So then whether it comes from inspiration or any other source, it's still developed from amongst us as human beings. So yeah.
Can never truly,
it could never really truly replace human interaction and all of this stuff. But one thing I would say is that what it does is like it kind of disrupts the balance of things, because as much as it's not replacing, it's like creating like artifact art, like let's say like now with the music, artificial.
It is artificial after all.
It is artificial, but that's what the word stands for. So now it creates artificial music, and then now artificial emotions, because it's become so bad that they're creating robots now, you know, to to mimic like you having a partner or having a counselor, you know, having a counselor and so forth. So now, you know, as us as human beings, we work with our senses, right? It's feel, touch, and all of this stuff. So now you have something that is not that, but it's replicating that. It's like dopamine. And after some time, you're having a dysfunctional, what do you call it, like society that doesn't know how to interact with other human beings and all of this stuff. But yeah, so for me, I would say like, no, it can never replace that. Yeah, because all of those things is what makes us who we are.
Ina? Do you see AI more of a threat or a tool or a partner in the future when it comes to music creation? And also, how can we perhaps just create that balance between humans and, you know, AI at the end of the day?
The unfortunate thing that I think a lot of us don't realize is that humans there's all sorts of humans. You have good humans, you have evil humans. We're a blend of all sorts of humans. All it takes, the thing about AI is, all it takes is one evil person to ruin it for everyone else.
That's true.
So every time I hear this conversation about, can't we just partner with AI and work? Yes, you can have that viewpoint, but let's say Jonas on the other side doesn't agree with you. His actions with AI will destroy everything you've worked for. SUNO by themselves stole 28 million songs from the world and are actively destroying the music industry as we know it. So when someone asks me, do you see AI as a tool, as a creative tool? The AI I know right now is destroying everything we've come to love as human beings. So the AI I see right now is not a partner. And what a lot of people are calling for is the same way we are regulating nuclear weapons, the same way tobacco, we realize the danger of tobacco and said, all right, you can do this, you can't do that. Until we reach that point with AI, I don't think anyone can come to me and say, oh, I think you can partner with AI, you can use AI as a tool. Because I know, I literally know evil, I'm not going to call them evil people, but I know people that would step on their mother or step on a family member.
Any solutions?
Solutions to that situation. I think, okay, I've said this, there is a grassroots movement of young people, and I think you have older people as well, who are knowledged, who are literate, AI literate, and are actively opposing AI creeping into all these sectors. So the solution I can give right now is get knowledge, get clued up on all of this, and actively oppose. If you see it's infringing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actively oppose it. That's the best I can give.
Okay, I would say the same thing because like these are discussions we have almost on a daily
basis.
Yeah, because people keep on, you know, like we post against it, like you know, we always put out like articles and so forth, or even at least point out, you know, people making use of like AI, especially in the creative scene. And then like this causes us to have like, you know, back and forth conversations and talks about it. So for me, I would say that one thing I've continually that I continue to mention is that AI has to be regulated everywhere in all industries, whether it's music, whether it's film, whether it's medical. It has to be regulated because anything that's not regulated ends up either taking advantage of the system that's set. So we have like different bodies in like here in Namibia that either stand for art and so forth. You know, we have the NASCAM protecting the writers and intellectual property of the artists and producers. And we have like, you know, like the Ministry of Youth Sports, you know, that MySec that deals with that deals with the other aspects. So it's something I always usually say, or that I encourage, is that we need to find ways that we should continually find ways to regulate the use of AI and how it infiltrates different industries. Because when we don't do that, then it becomes a thing of we're caught off guard. So like we're having a chat. We're having a chat, or like just offline. And then I mentioned something. I said like it's almost like how the pandemic hit us. You know, when COVID hit, the first thing when we saw the first cases of it in Wuhan, we thought like, oh, okay, it's happening in China.
It's very far right now.
It's very far right now, and it spread so fast that it started to affect us. Some of us have like, you know, friends and families who were affected by it. And it's the same thing with AI right now in the music industry. It's affecting so many different platforms. Like for example, now you're on Spotify. And then the #1 streaming artist is an AI.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But you definitely do understand. I feel like so much definitely needs to be done in terms of regulations. But it's definitely a conversation we can continue having and seeing how we can, you know, balance it out at this point. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you all the best with your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. And that also wraps up today's edition of the Daily Roundup.